Hi everybody, I'm Lisa Whittleton. I'm director at Illuminate. We're specialists in mental wellbeing in the workplace, so we help you to create phenomenal places to work. So I wanted to just share some of my thoughts with you ahead of World Mental Health Day on Sunday, so Sunday the 10th of October. And I know that there is pretty much a day for everything these days. So apparently today is National Chocolate Covered Pretzel Day and LED Light Day. But actually World Mental Health Day isn't just another one of those themed days. So for me, it's far more important and it is about all of us. It's a really good opportunity, as an individual, as a family member, a colleague, a manager, to really think about our own mental health, but also the mental health of others around us, and to think about it a little bit more carefully. So I always talk about the need for businesses to go a step further than simply raising awareness of mental health, because it's when you take that positive action that you really see positive changes. But I do think that, awareness raising is that first step. And I was in a conversation with some friends just last night that really reminded me of the importance of that awareness raising. So we were just talking about all sorts of things like you do. And one of my friends came out with a question, and she said, did you know that anxiety can actually have real physical symptoms, like increased heart rate, and that actually that all stems from what's going on in your head at the time? And she asked this, she'd had this light bulb moment about it. And I work in this field, and we deliver a lot of training around trying to help people to understand their anxiety and where it stems from. So I knew that, but it just really dawned on me that a lot of people maybe don't. Or if they do, they are too busy, haven't got that time and space to really make that connection between how they feel, their behaviours, and how their thoughts might be feeding into that. And they might not have been given the knowledge or the information they need to explore it further. So, in our conversation, all of us could relate to a level of anxiety, and it really opened up that conversation. One of the things actually that my friend said was, it's not always conscious, is it? And again, talking about how it manifests for us. My other friend opened up about the fact that actually the certain situations she's been avoiding more so since lockdown, and that's probably due to anxiety, although she hadn't recognised it as that initially. And I think it's important to say, none of these things we talked about were preventing us living our lives. On the whole, we're generally happy. But it's still a really important conversation about mental health and normalizing mental health, because I could really see that some of these things we talked about could escalate if they're not recognized early and if they're not spoken about and said out loud. And it really helped us to see, you're not on your own, you hear other perspectives on it, and it allows you to then talk about ways that you might manage that, rather than it just being in your own head and you thinking, oh, that'll be fine, or oh, maybe everyone experiences this. So although awareness training and educating alone is not going to completely change our thoughts around mental health, and is not necessarily going to provide long-term changes for businesses, it does have to start there. So, I would just highly recommend everybody attends a mental health awareness course for their own mental health, but also for that of other people. And my partner actually admitted this morning that when he went on a mental health first aid course through his employer a few years ago now, it was that gave him the language and the knowledge to open up conversations around this. It made him think about his own mental health, but also equipped him with the right things to say for his, to his colleagues and his friends. So on Sunday, World Mental Health Day, do just, take a bit of time for you, think about what helps you switch off, but also reach out to somebody who maybe you haven't seen for a while, or they've gone quiet. Perhaps they've had a lot going on in their lives, which many have. Maybe you just miss somebody. So reach out, have a normal conversation, but don't be afraid to mention mental health. Good opportunity to do it. Just talk about how you are, ask how they are, because actually a lot of people will welcome the opportunity to talk about it. So thank you very much for listening.